Thanks for joining us here on Up with Krim. I'm Channing Curtis.
Glad to have you here with us. I'm Tim Pham. Well, let's head on over to meteorologist Thomas Patrick because, Thomas, you're going to maybe want a light jacket today, maybe a heavier one, and maybe some sunglasses too.
Yeah, for me, I had exactly that. Light jacket plus sunglasses on the way to work, and I made sure to crank the heat in the car. But some of you might need that heavier jacket, especially if you're experiencing our low temperatures right now in the 30s or even 20s. Now, the good news is that it is plenty sunny outside. Sometimes that's always the one thing I forget in the morning is those sunglasses, because when we come to work at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it ain't sunny yet, and we're like, I don't need these yet. And then on a day like this, you're like, I wish I had my sunglasses. But yeah, very sunny out there, and our temperatures did already bump up by 2 degrees over the last hour here in Spokane. But we are under freeze warnings for another hour this morning, but will stay in place for tomorrow morning as well. So 2 days of freeze warnings as our temperatures have been bottoming out below the freezing mark. But as of this hour, almost everybody is back above freezing with the exception of Ritzville. You are still lagging behind at 31, but it looks like everybody else is getting the edge taken off thanks to that early morning sunshine that we've gotten pretty much since sunrise at around 5:15, 5:30 this morning. And we'll see plenty of sunshine throughout the day today. Doesn't look like there's any chances for showers this time around, so we'll enjoy a nice day or two ahead of us before we're tracking our next chance of rain later on in the week. More on that in a few minutes.
Well, a traffic alert to bring to you starting tonight from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. One lane will be closed on I-90 between the Washington State line and Sherman Avenue in Coeur d'Alene. So these nightly closures will take place over the next 2 months so crews can collect data for a study to widen the interstate. Our news partners at the Coeur d'Alene Press found only one lane in one direction will be closed at a time. Crews will focus on the section between Spokane Street and Northwest Boulevard. Drivers are asked to be aware of closures, to slow down, and to move to the open lane. And State Route 20 in the North Cascades will officially be open for the year starting today. A photo tweeted out by WSDOT shows a lot of snow still on the ground. WSDOT says it was weird, kind of a weird season with more snow at the end than we had in the beginning. But the clearing team stayed persistent. Despite the snow, the highway will open for the year today.
The Spokane City Council rejected a resolution that would bring back unvaccinated firefighters. Now, during last night's meeting, council members Cathcart and Bingle created a resolution focused on reducing the fire department's overtime costs. The resolution suggested bringing back workers who had been fired last year for not following the state vaccine mandate. Now, with those employees gone and a high number of sick call-outs, the fire department is expected to rack up more than $7 million in overtime by the end of the year.
And we deserve them back. We deserve to have them serving this community. The skills that they have, the abilities they have, the things that they are able to do to keep our community safe is just, it's incredible.
Looking at this resolution, I don't think it does anything except for make a point and gesture to the public that frankly doesn't really move forward on anything.
Along with Spokane, council members Stratton and Wilkerson voted against the resolution. Well, Spokane is one step closer to getting an urban zip line. Now, council members passed a resolution asking the park board to move forward with the plans. The zip line would take thrill seekers under the Monroe Street Bridge. Riders would take off by City Hall and zip down to Peaceful Valley's Red Band Park.
It's a growing problem that's not just happening in Washington State. Many parents are being affected by a major shortage in baby formula. Seattle is just one of 12 major cities where only 60% of the normal stock is on store shelves. Manufacturers say they are producing at full capacity, but it's still not enough to meet the demand. As families struggle to find baby formula, the FDA is urging parents to refrain from making their own. And that's because homemade formulas could be at risk of contamination, nutritional imbalances, and foodborne illnesses. There are serious health and safety concerns as well if it's not made correctly.
It is not safe to make your own formula. There are several reasons that go along with that. One of the biggest is just the risk factor of not mixing it correctly.
Experts suggest if you're having trouble finding formula, reach out to your pediatrician's office or WIC, a supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children.
Time now for your morning rush. More news in less time. A victim has now died after a fire in the San Souci Mobile Home Park last Saturday. Spokane fire crews had rescued that man from inside the home and taken him to the hospital where he later died. Crews were able to contain the fire in 20 minutes. Now SFD Special Investigations and the Spokane Police Department are working to find out what caused the fire. Pullman police are forwarding animal cruelty charges after discovering a dozen dead animals inside a College Hill apartment complex 2 months ago. The surviving animals remain under care of staff at the Whitman County Humane Society and the WSU Veterinary Teaching Hospital. The 2 residents involved have yet to be formally charged. Well, 50 dams in the state of Washington are classified as high hazard and in poor condition. That's according to an investigation by the Associated Press. So a high hazard dam is considered likely to result in the loss of at least 1 human life if it were to fail. Now, dams are assessed by their conditions. So a dam is in unsatisfactory condition if it has safety deficiencies that require immediate action. Of Washington's 50 high hazard dams, Yakima County has the most with 7. Well, we are just 4 days away from the Spokane Farmers Market's big return. The market will be back this Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. Now, the market will take place on 5th Avenue in downtown Spokane, and just like in years past, an additional market on Wednesdays will be added starting on June 8th. Shoppers will be able to buy a variety of seasonal products like fresh cut flowers, fruits, and vegetables. That's a look at your morning rush.
The Washington State Department of Natural Resources is expanding their Wildfire Ready Neighbors program in Spokane ahead of wildfire season. Commissioner Hillary Franz will join residents from Four Mounds in a Kickstart event happening this morning at 10:30. Four Mound near 9 Mile Falls is one of the highest wildfire risk communities in the Spokane area. Wildfire Ready Neighbors program helps neighbors across the Washington area prepare for their homes and property before the wildfire season starts. Spokane joined the program last year. And the Inland Northwest isn't the only area preparing for wildfire season. In Western Washington, 10 Pierce County fire departments are undergoing special wildfire training this week. The training is usually reserved for Eastern and Central Washington crews. Wildfire activity is expected on both sides of the Cascades this year.
We're busy training for this new hazard we call wildland-urban interface.
So this scenario here, we're going to be performing bump and run.
It's not too early for homeowners to prepare either. A good rule of thumb is to keep your home safe is to make sure there's at least 30 feet of clearance between your home and vegetation. And ahead of fire season, the American Red Cross recommending that you have at least 1 gallon of water per person with at least a 3-day supply on hand. And the same goes for food to make sure that it's non-perishable and easy to prepare. Other things to include in your emergency kit are batteries, maps, and medication. Those are important as well as documents and cash. Also consider extra clothing and work gloves.
Our Boomtown coverage is continuing here at KREM 2. Fans don't have to drive over the mountains anymore for big-time experiences. How investing in facilities like the First Interstate Center for the Arts is drawing bigger and bigger crowds.
And here's the one thing you need to know about today's weather. Despite a cold start to the day, the sunshine should help us out at least a little bit by the afternoon hours. Expecting our highs in the upper 50s and maybe even low 60s.
Time now for your wake-up call. It is National Washington Day. Washington became a state back in 1889. And this morning we want to know, what is your favorite thing about Washington? Is it a place? Is it, I don't know, a hiking trail, a river? Whatever it is, text us at 509-448-2000 or use the hashtag UpWithKREM on social media.
But first, here's a live look outside. We say good morning to you, Inland Northwest. Happy Tuesday to you. Let us know where you're watching from this morning and join us for more Up with KREM.